So, so what will these self-driving robot trucks mean for the 3.5 million truck drivers in our country, or the 7 million plus Americans who work at truck stops, motels, and diners that rely upon the truckers getting out and having a meal every day? How many of you have been to Iowa 80 in Davenport? They've got a mean buffet. They say that 5,000 people stop at Iowa 80 every day. What will that number be if the trucks no longer have drivers? We're in the midst of the greatest economic transformation in the history of our country, what experts are calling the fourth industrial revolution. When's the last time you heard a politician say fourth industrial revolution? 4 seconds ago, just now. And I'm barely a politician. So I'm an entrepreneur that was getting accolades and awards for helping create thousands of jobs in the Midwest and the South. I was honored by the Obama administration multiple times, so I got to bring Evelyn to meet the president. My in-laws were very excited about me that week. But during these 7 years, I got this sinking feeling that my work was like pouring water into a bathtub that had a giant hole ripped in the bottom, and that the water's rushing out more and more. That water rushing out led Donald Trump to the White House, and unfortunately it's going to accelerate as AI and self-driving cars and trucks become more and more real in our economy. So I went to our leaders in DC and I said, what are we going to do to help our people manage this economic transformation? This was 2017. Trump wins. I'm like, holy cow. Tens of millions of our fellow Americans decided to take a bet on a narcissist reality TV star. This is not business as usual. We really need to figure this out. I go through the numbers. I find, okay, we're in the midst of this economic transformation. And I feel like Iowa's ground zero for this transformation in many respects, because it already happened on your farms. You saw the consolidation and mechanization of many of those agriculture jobs. And then it went to your factories, where it's now wiped out 40,000 manufacturing jobs and counting. Now it's shifting to your main streets, and you're starting to see the stores' lights go out. We have to stop it before it gets to your highways. So this is what I was figuring out in 2017. I go to our leaders in DC and I say, what are we going to do? And what do you think the folks in DC said to me when I said, what are we going to do? Yeah, like on another event, someone made like that Scooby-Doo noise. It was like, ooh, oh, oh. So the answers I got out of DC were these. Number one, we cannot talk about this. Number two, we should study this further. Very DC answer, right? Maybe form a committee. And number three, we must educate and retrain all Americans for the jobs of the future. How many of you have heard something like that? Yeah, it sounds sort of responsible, but I'm the numbers guy, so when looking at the studies, do you all want to guess how effective the government-funded retraining programs were for the manufacturing workers who lost their jobs in the Midwest? You know it's low, because I'm anchoring you low. But you also know it's low because you know human beings. You know if you have 500 manufacturing workers who lose their jobs, they don't all walk out and be like, oh great, it's time for my coding program. I'll be at that laptop in no time. Like, that's not human nature. The success rates of those retraining programs are very, very low, 0 to 15%. Almost half of the manufacturing workers who lost their jobs in the Midwest left the workforce and never worked again. Of that group, almost half filed for disability. You then saw surges in suicides and drug overdoses in these communities to the point where America's life expectancy has now declined for the last 3 years in a row. You know the last time America's life expectancy declined 3 years in a row? Great Depression is a fantastic guess. It's a little bit earlier than that. It's the Spanish flu of 1918, a global pandemic that killed millions. You have to go back 100 years because it is highly unusual for life expectancy to ever decline in a developed country. It ordinarily goes up and up because you're getting richer, stronger, healthier. But in the United States of America, it's gone down and then down and then down again.